Welcome to the DaChop Team. I'm your host, Seth the Dark Child.
I'm your host, twinsinc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our barbershop style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up. We back.
Hey, what's up?
Seth the Dark Child, how you doing, my brother?
Oh, man, I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to be in front of y'all too long on this one here, but we have another gig around there, and this one's titled as Users and Takers, right?
They're takers, gentlemen. They're takers.
Users and takers and users.
Yep.
And how this conversation kind of spawned is that, I'm having one of these dad vacations per se, or dad time alone. And that means that the wife and kids and everybody's gone. And I'm just here to the house myself, right? And and you would think, oh, all you gonna do all day is sit on this video game, eat snacks, whatever, God things, do nothing, sit around the house, whatever. But lo and behold, I was telling Seth the other child, man, I did so much things today. I've been up early since like 7-ish around this morning. And I'm gonna tell y'all how my morning went this morning. This morning, I got up, I walked 3 miles. After I did 3 miles, cut the grass. After cut the grass, I ran to the store, Home Depot, Walmart in-loads, looking for a battery, ordered some stuff, came home, showered, cleaned the house up, to the trash out, whatever. And even thinking about some new projects that I'm gonna do outside, which I had to show Seth the Dark Child. And with all that being said, he did all that. I said, yeah, man. And we started talking like, yeah, man, because I'm always thinking ahead, not just that the value of that house is like, trying to improve the business towards the DaChop Team or studio. So, I'm thinking about having a man cave or studio, something we put outside, and we chopped it up outside for about 20 minutes outside to think about what we're going to do.
Like in 100-degree weather?
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah. He came back in the house, he was sweating. I had to get some water, towel, because, we was outside, but hot Atlanta, full effect. It is summertime, ends July. So anyway, with that being said, we were just talking about how that, if the family was here, would have done everything. And I'm like, no, I probably would have. I probably just made the basic, cut the grass, whatever. But for some reason, it's like I got to boost the energy to do more things when no one's in the house. I don't know, because I'm getting asked a million questions. I got to do this. I got to be in daddy mode. When I was here alone, I got up early. No one woke me up. I slept good, right? Not saying I don't sleep good, but I slept good, got up, and I hit the ground running. And right now, I'm even doing a podcast show, but I did a lot of things today. And it was just funny that he said, like, man, you think that the family here, would they have been like, if, let's say I was on vacation and they was here, or I had the kids, you think your wife or whoever would have been like, oh, let's look at this, let's go to this store here? I was like, no. And that's how the topic come about users and takers. And I know a friend of mine who had a house, right? He was married. They separated. Things happened, and the wife had full control of the house. Instead of keeping the house and maybe, saving it for the kids in the future, she sold the house. Granted, she lived out of state, right? I get it. Out of state, distance, whatever. But my thought process for as a man is like, when I buy my house here, yeah, I'm paying for the house right now. Yeah, technically it's mine now at the moment, but the goal is for the kids to have that house. And which means it means that by the time I hit my retirement, because I don't plan to refinance my house, so when I hit retirement at 60, I think it was like 67 or 65 that I added all up, the house will be paid off. I'll be retirement. I'll have money. I'll do whatever I want at that time frame, right? But the point I'm trying to make is the house is paid off. So if my kids and their kids want to live here, stay here, when they start XYZ, they can have a fresh start on life without debt. Meaning they got somewhere to stay. They don't got to pay no rent, just pay the electric, water, gas, and taxes every year. That's all you got to do. And that's giving them a head start. So with the person that I'm talking about who sold that house is like, granted, I get it, you don't live here, but couldn't you rent the house out? The house was nice. You could have made money off the house just by renting it out, right? And because in the day, I'm sure the person who bought the house originally, the guy who bought the house originally, probably wanted to give the house to his son anyway. It's like business. When you think of all these business owners in the world, you think about Ford. Everyone knows Ford. You think the first Ford owner guy, I don't know his first name, but the first Ford guy, do you think he benefit of making, do you think he had a good life? When I say not good life, I'm talking about, do you think he were able to dibble and dab in all the $1 million that his kids are dibbling and dabbling right now? He had to get it in the mud. So when I'm saying that he probably had an okay life, but he didn't have an abundant life like his grandkids do right now. Because you can't tell me a Ford kid is struggling right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the direct line of the family. Like if I'm the man, if Dwayne Ford was the first person who did it, then my son and his son, or my daughter and his daughter, they are directly benefits of the business. So they have a better life than I had because they didn't have to create the business from scratch. I created from scratch. So the point I'm trying to make is that the fact that I have a house now, and my goal is for my kids, right? They can live here rent free. I mean, inflation is going through the roof right now.
More than you know.
More than you know. What's the best way to combat inflation? Not paying mortgage, not paying rent, just pay electricity and water. You can do that with no problem and live comfortably and get your money together, stack up. But if you decide you want to move out, both my kids, guess what? I'm having a will that no one's selling the house. You're going to either rent the house out, but you're not selling the house. Point blank period, because it's going to be someone in the future. So I want to start out there. Seth the Dark Child, what are your thoughts there, brother?
Well, once again, I agree with everything you said. Make sure I'm being heard properly. No, I agree with everything you said. Here, someone told me, might have been KS, I'm gonna be honest with you, said that women don't build, they use, right? And the reason I said it like this isn't to attack women. It's the fact that men tend to make more than they can use. Women tend to use more than they make.
Say that again. Can you say that again?
Well, men tend to make more than they can use.
Okay.
Women tend to use more than they can make. Okay.
Message.
And this ain't about money. It's about life, right? It's just more difficult to be a woman than a man. And even with children, once again, it's just more difficult to raise children as a single mother than it is as a single man because it's more expensive. It's more every damn thing, right? Well, the problem being is that we've forgotten how to be team. We forgot how to be on the same team. When the government started offering up people certain things, people took it. It was easy, free money, whatever, right? Well, what you're just saying is the fact that something that was noted years ago is that by 2042, the value of the Black community will be essentially zero. There will be no value in the Black community in 20 years and about 20 more years. And that's because, unfortunately, some people obviously cashing out their value, taking the money and running, getting the bag. Everything you just said is that part right there. If you can't see further than okay, she sold the house. Let's say the house had $80,000 in equity in it, right?
Okay.
So after she sold it, she cashed out. She took home $80,000. Reasonable, right?
Right.
What'd she do with the 80? I'm like, tell me why did you take the 80 out, and what did you do with the 80? Now we can talk all we want, but as you see, while I can afford a BMW, I don't drive a BMW. I can afford a Lexus. I don't own a Lexus because a car is a car is a car, really. Since I'm not chasing women like that no more, and not normally chasing women is why you spend extra money like that.
Facts.
Even a house, right? I have a 4-bedroom house right now that's honestly too big. When my son turns 18 next year, I'm seriously thinking about finding me another house that's smaller and renting this out, not selling. Because if I own it, why would I sell it? I can make residual income off of it. But I'm seriously thinking about selling my house and buying a smaller house.
You mean renting?
I mean, renting and buying a smaller house because I don't need 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. I don't. Okay. But if I sell it, it's gone. And if I take the money and spend it on something that's useless, and I'm going to call a new car useless.
Yeah.
Unless you I don't want to attack people like that, but honestly, a good BMW could cost you $50,000.
Especially now, inflation. Especially now, it will.
Yeah, and a Nissan Maxima is going to cost you $30,000, right?
Right.
$20,000 difference. When you start that car up, aren't you riding on the same 4 tires?
Yes.
When you go get gas for that car, aren't you using the same gas?
Yes.
And you could say premium and unleaded, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's running on gas. It's 4 wheels. It has AC. It has a radio. Why did you need a $50,000 car when a $30,000 car will give you the exact same benefit? Jewelry. Listen, I wear bracelets and necklaces, but this is stainless steel. It's not gold. It's not diamond. It's not platinum. It's stainless steel. All my jewelry I have on right now costing me less than $100. I'm not knocking anybody with a $400 watch on. I'm just saying that $400 watch, I could buy stock. That $400 watch, I could do this, I could do that. But my ex-wife, on the other hand, once again, I'll use her because it's my ex and it's my life and I can talk about it. But my son asked me once a few years ago, Dad, why does mom have a better car than you? Well, she has a better car than me because I pay for it. But I asked him, I said, you want to be all smart? How much money, ask your mama, since she got a good car, how much money she got saved for your college fund? Answer that question. You know what I'm saying? Got kind of quiet because all he could see was, you're right, she got a nice car right now, but when I need that money to pay for college, how am I going to pay for it? I had a plan for paying for college. I had ideas on how to pay for his college. I had an idea of what I needed his future to look like and the sacrifices it would take for me to make his future possible. None of that's in the car. None of that's on the table on his mama's side. And you would say, well, aren't you still his aunt? Well, the money that I was going to invest in his future, I gave to her to survive in her present. We're done. By the time, because I still got a plan for my future, since I don't have a wife on my side, I got to take care of myself. Taking care of myself don't involve me figuring out how to pay college tuition for somebody who I haven't been able to save for the last decade because I've been giving it to your mama. So listen, it's complicated out here. Ain't nobody trying to act like it's right, but you have users, you have people who produce and people who use. And normally it's a gender difference between the users and the takers. But hey, whatever. I'm not here. I'm agreeing with you and I'm not here to argue it. But the fact is, just like I said, game over on a previous podcast, is you have to come to a point in your life where you are building more than you are using. Otherwise, a whole bunch of stuff that you consider your future is and the people that depend on you are going to end up with nothing. Most women don't leave nothing to the future generation. Most women, most kids end up getting it out the mud. In the last 50 years, every generation has ended up getting it out the mud. When my grandfather passed, he had 11 kids. 11. My grandmother, I don't even want to go into that, but let's say bad things happen, right? She lived 25 more years past the day he died. I'm not going to knock nobody living that long. God bless him. She lived 25 years longer than he did. Guess how much the surviving children or grandchildren, guess how much she left them?
0.
Yeah, you'd be right.
What did he leave?
He left insurance policies in the house.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He left insurance policies.
To make sure while he's gone that the family will still be protected and the house still be there.
But 25 years is a long time.
Oh yeah, of course.
She used it all up.
Yeah.
But that's the point. She used it up.
So imagine this let's use that scenario for a second. So Pops passed away, had insurance policies, and had stuff for the house to protect the house, X, Y, Z. It's not that the kids were banking on it, right? But it's okay. So mom passed away. Mom probably had the same thing or something similar to dad's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then when mom passed away, zero. There was no insurance policy that she opened up to cover herself. There was nothing to protect the house. It was like, well, y'all guys on your own.
Basically.
And that's where we come back with users and takers, because most men, we think about the future. We think about going ahead. We think about even when we're not here. Like, let that matter for a second. As a man, I think about life even when I'm not here. How many women do you know can tell you they think about a week in advance, long enough? What is life after you're gone? What's going to happen? What do you have planned for your kids once you're gone? Not like, well, they got to figure it out. I got to figure it out. And that's the problem right there. Fellas, if you're talking to a woman and she don't think about the future, even with her in the future or not in the future at all, and she has that mentality where they got to figure it out, you need to run.
Oh, I got an even worse story.
Go ahead.
And I know we want to keep this short, but this is the users and takers.
Yes.
All right. I have a friend, female, talking to her, 45 years old, right? She's been living in her house for 8 years. She want to refinance her house and cash out some equity. Ooh. She has 2 sons. Now, these sons are over 18, so they're not children.
Big grown men.
But they'll be having children one day.
Yes.
But she wants to cash the equity out of the house and refinance her house back out for 30 years. She's 45. If she cashes out the equity at 45 for a 30-year mortgage, how old will she be when she finishes paying off the house? 75. And if she's 75 years old when she's supposed to finish paying off the house, when is she planning on retiring? Okay. And
that's something that they don't think about. She just about, go ahead, continue.
Well, no, that's it. So if she retires at 67, is that the age? I'm not
I think
sure.
the age is, 65 is supposed to be the age per se.
I know it went up.
If anything, 68, it should be like late 60s, so before 70.
Okay, so let's roll with 68.
Yeah, let's go 68.
Okay, if you retire at 68 and you owe mortgage on your house till you 75, isn't that 7-year difference where you won't have any income, but you're still paying for your mortgage for your living expenses?
Now, granted, she will have income, right? Retirement money, right?
You hope.
Let's say,
okay,
I'm with you. You hope. So more likely, she probably think, well, I'll have this money, but she didn't really think about. So you retire, right? We work our whole life just so we can retire to enjoy the rest of our life before we die, right? That's pretty much how it goes. We live to die. So you figure by 68, you retire all these years, you can now just kick your feet up and enjoy life. But she didn't really plan this out thorough enough to think about it. She needs income for the next 7 years. But let's say she won't bank on her Social Security, and then maybe she had a retirement money. So you telling me you worked all these years just so you can take your retirement money to pay on more stuff? And that money is supposed to be so you don't have to work, but you want to use your retirement money. You have saved up, whatever it may be, just so you can continue paying on a house. That makes no logical sense to me.
See how quick you got there?
Yes.
And see and that's the problem, because listen, I don't really. We ain't got enough time. We ain't got enough time for me to pull out the whiteboard. But let's do the math. All right, you got to pay mortgage. Let's say your mortgage is not $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year. $12,000 a year from age for 7 years is $84,000, I think. Yeah, somewhere in the $84,000 a year. I mean, for that's how much additional income you'll need to spend on your mortgage while you're in retirement. $84,000, $12,000 a year. You don't know how much Social Security you're going to get, and if you need to cash out the equity in your house at 45, you haven't saved up money. Real talk. I'm not the smartest person.
And you made some bad investment choices.
If you made bad investment choices, I would be okay with that, because you was actively trying. Sometimes you gamble and you lose. If you cash out equity to pay off a car or take some trips or just to have the money in your bank, you have failed. I don't offer sugar coats for this stuff. All right. So if you still, you're going to need $84,000 in cash. This is just hypothetical. After you retire, this is in addition to whatever medical bills you might have, light bill. You're not retiring. You're going to work till you die. And if you mess up and can't pay for it, they're going to come take it. They'll come take it. And your children and your grandchildren are going to start at zero, the same as every other generation you've ever had.
And also, to even add on to what you said originally, like you said, she wants to work. Well, not wants to work, but she's want to extend her home mortgage for another 7 years, right? So 75, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she has two boys, which are men now, who about 18 years old plus, whatever, and they're gonna have kids. And let's say something happened where she's passed away. Do you think those young men is gonna be able to continue to take on that responsibility of the mortgage that you have set up? Because mind you, your mortgage is set up based on your income, based on your time you've been working at jobs, whatever case may be. Most kids don't catch their parents right away. Some do. I ain't say all. Some do. But most kids don't really catch their parents, especially if the parents have a career, an actual real career. And I know supervisor or manager, I'm talking about your mom, dad had a career and this, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't think I even caught my mom yet because she has a career. You know what I'm saying? Registered nurse, 30 plus years. I don't think I'm ever catching her. But the point I'm trying to make, even if I had 10 jobs, the point I'm trying to make is that if she do pass away, are they gonna be able to maintain that house and plus maintain their stuff? Who didn't say that they didn't buy a house on their own? So they're supposed to give up their house and maintain your house, right? And is your house going? I mean, think about it. And in the way you have your house, is it even presentable? Like, do I want your house? You know, because if she had the house probably built 1950 something. I bought a house in 2008. They're not the same.
Well, even if you don't do that,
but even so, are they gonna be?
What about your grandkids? See, my argument that I keep making, it ain't about us,
right?
The moment, and I'm gonna say, I told my son this. He like, Dad, you joking? Nope. The moment my son has a child, I'm taking his name off of everything. My grandchild gets it because I struggle for him. Bro, I paid my dues for you, my dude. It ain't, and I love you, but my grandchild should not have to get it out the mud. My mama had to get it out the mud because my grandmama didn't leave nothing. My grandmother took everything my granddad had, and I'm not mad at her for that because it's what it was. But she took it all. She didn't add anything. She simply took it. My grandmother could have worked, but she didn't. She was a stay-at-home wife, and that was the life we lived. My aunts and all that, they had to get it out the mud. My uncles, they got it out the mud. But even my uncles ain't built the future. No, well, I'm lying. My uncle built the future, but they not with their original baby mamas or nothing like that. So it's just toe up there. You got to stay with the person you marry. But my aunts, all of my aunts, every one, my grandma, I got 7 aunts, 7. All of their kids got it out the mud. All of their grandkids are getting it out the mud because there's so many single mothers. Bruh, ain't no future building here.
And also, I just wanted to say too, when he just said when his son has a kid, right, boy or girl, we say with a kid, he said he's gonna take it out of his son's name and put it in a name. Now, mind you, he's speaking because he sees his son. He knows what his son's doing. If he sees that his son is not doing right, what he's supposed to be doing or close enough, why would I leave I'm not calling his son an idiot, but why would anyone leave a house to an idiot? Hold on, but what you know what I'm saying? Like if he, for example, I'll just say me. If, for example, I like the concept. Right now, my kids left, my house is gonna be in my kid's name, right? But if I'm living long enough and the way I raise my kids a certain way, if I see they're not doing what they're supposed to do as far as XYZ, and they have kids of their own, I'm with them. I'm like, oh no. I work too hard for you someone get a house, I'm gonna sell it or whatever. No, I'm gonna give it to the next generation. Now, granted, I won't probably live long enough to see what they do with it, but at least I'm gonna give him the opportunity that he's gonna have a house that's paid off, and only thing you gotta do is pay taxes to try to not get out the mud. Because that's the whole purpose. I'm speaking for Dwayne, twinsinc, me. My purpose is to create a legacy for my kids. Now, if I can do other things to build a bigger brand legacy, like even with this podcast, so be it. But right now, one thing I know for sure, the house that I have, I'm paying on right now, it's the legacy that I'm leaving to my son and my daughter, to where they can live here rent free. And even if one move out, one stay, someone can live here rent free. And then when they have kids, they can live here. You understand? Rent free, to start a trend. Maybe all become homeowners, but at the same time, there's always be someone that you can always come and you don't have to worry about paying rent. Just do the maintenance around the house, pay electric bills, and get a head start in life. That's the goal. The goal is to have your kids that have a better lifestyle than I had. That's it right there.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify a little bit. The reason I said my grandchild is because while I'm here, God willing, I'm here for a while with my son, is that I'm here for him now. You feel me? So his struggles now, when he goes to buy a house at a certain age, I'm not going to have a house to give to him.
Right.
Okay. He's 17 already. I'm trying to make sure that I got a down payment to help him with when he gets his first house. But my grandkids, I don't want them to struggle at all. I want them to start off with the jump. I hope my son raises them up, but I'm here for him right now, all day, every day. He can come to me and be like, Dad, I need help with this. And because I had to get it out the mud, I can only lift him up a little bit because I'm barely above the mud, but I can put my grandkids on my shoulders. And that's why I said it like that. It ain't that I wouldn't want to give it to him, but I got to live in it now. So you can't have it because I'm living in it.
Facts.
But when my grandkids come along, when they be like, okay, granddad, you 75 years old and I'm about to graduate from college. I'm like, listen, I'll live in the basement. You can have the whole upstairs. Just come and feed me periodically and the house is yours. And that's it, because we can't keep generation that we got to start leaving people something.
And we definitely change the narrative too. We change the narrative as far as men that, we're not just like 18 years old, you're gone, kick out. No. My kids going to stay as long as they can, but they got to be able to do what they need to be doing, like going to school or working, have goals set. You ain't laying around here rent free, smoking and drinking, having girls running in and out, and you ain't doing it with your life. No way. I'm not playing those games. But if I see you out here working hard, you know what I'm saying? She can stay here and stack money and get your credit together. Because I want you to have a better start than I have. Because I want to leave you, I'm going to leave the knowledge with you and legacy with you that when I'm dead and gone, you can be like, you know what? Uncle, great-great-grandfather Dwayne, twins, whatever, set me up, and here we are now. That's my life goal that I have set for myself. Everyone's life goal is different, but that's my life goal. As a little kid, I always wanted to have a house in the South. Atlanta worked out fine, where people always come down and visit, got somewhere to stay. And people do that when they do come and visit, I got somewhere to stay. And even so, when I'm even gone, I hope that trend keeps going on, because it's a nice house. I'm taking care of it now. I'm setting up very nicely to where you want to stay here. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about, like I said, we talked about earlier in the show, putting a whole another studio outside. So this 600 square feet I have down here, we have in a man cave. The wife or whoever, they can move in here. We'll be outside, but we'll be in the studio though at that time. You know what I mean? It's gonna be laid out. It's gonna be nice. But I'm done for right now. Anything you want to say, Seth Darkchild?
Well, like I say, for our people, and this is true. It isn't an attack on women or whatever y'all might feel, but the truth of the matter is, women do use more than men. That we need that to start stopping. We need to start leaving. We need to start leaving something for the people who behind us, the kids behind us, because we can't keep making them struggle to get to where we at, because we were doing hot girl summers. I'm throwing that out at 50. We learn to invest. If you're a single parent, learn to invest. Men, seriously, there's no reason for a grown man, unless he's making six figures or more, to be like 55 years old talking about, I just wanted a BMW. No. that BMW is a year of your grandkids' college fund.
And also,
Stop it.
And like Seth the just said, it's like Seth the Dark Child just said. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's and this is speaking to our people, African American people, Black people, whatever. We're already behind the rat race.
Way behind.
We're already behind. Why should your kids' start way behind? Why can't they start with a jump start ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to break that cycle of getting out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm okay with having my grandkids have a silver spoon in their mouth. Hey, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I look at my generation before me. Everyone, my granddads, my uncles, and my great whatever, they're all getting out the mud.
We all had to start with these.
So why not twinsinc, break the cycle and say, you know what? I'm breaking that cycle. I'll make sure my kids don't get out the mud. At least not by choice, because I'm gonna do my part to set them up. Now we all have choice and decisions we all gotta make, right? So if they mess it up, that's all them. But they can't say twinsinc, aka Dwayne, didn't set them up right, because that's the goal.
That's all, bruh. I'm gonna take a L. I'm willing to take a L in my life.
Yes.
So that my child and perhaps potentially my grandchild's life can be much better. But I don't need them to go through the same struggle, because there might be some doctors in my bloodline. There might be some scientists in my bloodline. But the truth of the matter is, it costs $200,000 or more to become a doctor. There are no doctors in my family right now because we don't have the money to pay $200,000 to be doctors. And I ain't trying to have my kid with $200,000 or more in student loans. That's backbreaking.
Man, now you're talking.
You know, so if it comes to the point where I can put my grandchild through college and they can be a doctor at 26 years old or 28 years old, however long it takes to be a doctor, with no student loan debt, imagine where their life goes from there. If $200,000 in student loan debt paid back at 10% interest, you're going to pay back somewhere in the neighborhood of $500,000 of your income on that student loan, if not more. That's just $200,000. That's just $200,000. Imagine $500,000. What can you do with $500,000? I could put 2.5 kids through the same medical program instead of giving that junk to a bank
or and having them something, even to get trade.
Man, bruh.
You know what I mean? You can pay them go school, have a car, and even down payment on a house.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? What's money left over for you to continue to do what you do?
Bruh.
Because I mean, if I pay my kids go to a trade school and give them a car, I don't want to hear nothing for you to the next 20 years. I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I've done my job.
And I'll say, I'm gonna buy it. If I got the money, I'm gonna buy you a brand new car. So I don't want to hear about no replacement of this. If you mess up, you got to fix. I bought you a brand new car. Exactly. I paid for the school, full ride. I gave you your own scholarship. Exactly. And so at that point, I'm done. Birthdays, all that. You don't got to see me nothing. Hey, you just call and say, hey, Dad, I love you. That's it. That's all you need to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, if I had $500,000 to give, hey, you know what I'm saying? But see, kids be set.
Wait, let me clarify this, because I'm gonna hit y'all with a little math equation. Y'all good with numbers? Let's do the math. Let's say you make $100,000 a year. You're gonna take about 30% of that, 33% of that. So let's say you're gonna take home $67,000 in cash per year. Your living expenses, if a lot of people spend a lot more than $6,000-7,000 a year. But if you can keep your personal expenditures and living expenses down to the neighborhood of about $50,000 a year, you have at that point $17,000 a year to invest. $17,000 a year to invest over 20 years. You're going to have $300,000-400,000. Even if you just saved it, you're looking at $300,000-400,000 in the bank, if not an investment fund. Now that's 20 years. That's roughly your kid's life. Don't say it's impossible. Live below your means. Quit buying junk you don't need. Quit getting $200 weaves. Quit buying eyelashes and getting your nails done every week.
And fellas, stop getting them Jordans.
Oh my God, leave the Jordans on the shelf.
You know what I mean? Stop getting the same shoes they keep remaking over and over again and sell them through like $400. No.
Stop it.
Stop buying these Gucci belts and all this stuff for what?
It's a piece of leather. I swear to God, a Gucci belt and a belt at Walmart will hold your pants up the exact same way.
Even though you don't wear your pants up by your waist, but that's a whole nother topic. The point
Pull your
I make
pants up,
is
man. Just
when
y'all
you live,
pull your pants up.
when you live outside your means, this is why you struggle.
And if you struggling right now, if you struggling, your children will struggle. That's the basic math. Tell yourself that every day. If you're struggling, your children will struggle.
Message.
Find a way to stop struggling. Quit doing stuff that makes you struggle.
Message.
That's bro, you know, I'm passionate about it because ladies, I'm always talking to ladies. Guys, you just as guilty.
Oh, facts.
You just quit buying McDonald's. You messing up your health and your budget. There's no value to buying that trash. The McDonald's corporation is a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Billion.
You walk to McDonald's. Go to the grocery store and buy some actual grocery and learn how to cook. Teach your kid a skill.
Skills pay the bills. But ladies and gentlemen, we can go all day on this one, but
yeah, we could.
But we just want to give you a few bullet points on things that about users and takers and why it's so important that you leave a legacy, at least something for your kids, because you want them to have a better life than you. If you're a parent, I don't care if you're mingle, married, single, whatever. If you're a parent and you are that selfish where you have nothing you leave behind for your kids, you're doing yourself, well, not yourself, you're doing your kids an injustice.
Yes.
I don't care what the situation is. If you love your kids like you say you love your kids, you should have something set to the side for them. Life insurance, something to protect the house if you own a house, but at least, if anything, life insurance. So when you do pass away, it's not a burden to try to bury you. It's not a burden to even do ass to ashes because, cremation, whatever. It shouldn't be family come together, GoFundMe, all that stuff. And then people fall in and out because there's got to be one person who handles the money. And always the one person who handles the money is always overflow of money, and that money always disappear. And people are mad. And then the person who gets the money get mad because they had to do everything. Well, I did this, I did that. And that just create a whole separation in the family. So to eliminate all that, as a parent, have your wills, have your life. Think of that. Life insurance. Just cover yourself when you're gone. That's the bare minimum. Bare minimum is have life insurance to cover you. So when you die, your kids and family don't got to fall out, because a lot of family fall out once someone passes away on both sides, just because money. If you have enough to cover you, bury yourself, that's cool. Even if you have nothing to leave your family, whatever, the fact that you can ease everyone's mind that the burial or cremation is covered, that's less stress than everyone else. At this point now, it's just a family get together, and hopefully when you passing together, you could spark something like, hey guys, you know what? Let's not wait till somebody dies. Let's set a family trip and we start doing this more often so we can know each other and be loving each other, X, Y, Z. But as a parent, you need to have your stuff set up. If you don't, you're doing an injustice, not just for yourself, but for your kids. And I'm done.
Yeah, we don't call it a day because this late users, takers, everybody. It's always like I say. I always say women take more than they create. Men create more than they can use. It's supposed to be like that. This isn't an attack. Men are producers. Men are protectors. We don't need as much to survive, and so we love the people we with. If you keep making it difficult for people to love you, they're not going to want to provide for you. And if you're trying to provide for yourself as a woman, that's a sucky existence. But in addition to that, think about them little kids you had. These kids need to not have to struggle to survive. We got, as a people, we got to quit making each other struggle to survive generation after generation. The Hispanics, the Asians, the white people, they laugh at us. We had 100 plus years after slavery to try and at least do better. And the most we got is weaves, fake eyelashes, and Jordans. We can do better than that.
Thanks for tuning to the Chop Team. Once again, I'm your host, twinsinc, with
Seth the Dark Child.
Once again, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, send an email, all the Chop Team. And the shows post every Monday morning at 7 a.m.-ish. So no, I'm joking. 7 a.m. It's on time, baby. 7 on all major platforms: iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, all the major ones. We're there. So tap in, feedback, dislikes, likes. We don't care. Give it to us. Let us know how you feel. We know there's people listening. And we appreciate the listeners. I appreciate the feedback because I get feedback conversation all the time offline. But hey, if you want to be on the show, let us know. I'll give you the phone number. You call in. We'd love to have you and chop it up together. And listen, and it's not that. And if you're a lady, trust me, we're not going to attack you, okay? And I think that's a lot. They get scared of. Like, it was two guys. No. We listen, and we like to have dialogue conversation. And if you feel that if you might feel attacked, then we can do this. You know, if you have a conversation with one of us, I'll be like the middle person, and you go, he go, whatever, and I'll play neutral. Or if you want him to play neutral, he'll play neutral. How you want to do this? We're here for it.
Yeah, listen. Full disclaimer, like he just said, I just want to say this. I am a man. I no longer automatically believe all women, but I am not here to be your enemy because I need our people to do better.
Facts.
But that does involve you being better too. So don't come up here saying, if you're not willing to point the finger at your own gender, me and you are not going to get along.
Yeah.
But if you are,
that might be the minimal requirement. The minimum requirement, if you want to have a dialogue, is that you got to at least make sure you hold your counterpart accountable. That's it. That's minimum.
Yeah. Now, but once again, because men are not angels.
No,
I've never met an angel, truth be told. But you have to be willing to hold yourself accountable. Now, if you can do that, we can have a real productive conversation, moving into a real productive relationship going forward, because I like those people. Once again, don't let this podcast with two dudes come fool you. I know how to get along. I'm quite successful, I feel like, in my own personal life. And I have fruitful and good, fulfilling relationships. But this is how I think without any input. This is what I think.
No filters.
Change. Yeah, no filters. Change my mind. I'm fine with that, because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, tell me I'm right. I want to hear that too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the show. Later.
Peace.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for giving me another opportunity to get another show in real quick.
Oh no, brother, it's fun. It ain't nothing but talking.